How many more fights would you say? I know you said maybe one, but come on.
I don't know, 1, 2. I mean, I'm not one of those guys. I told you I'm not one of those guys who's gonna be fighting till I'm 45 and I'm punchy.
No, I think Spence will be in the Hall of Fame.
Right now? No, how? He fought in one division. Yeah, the WBC.
He didn't fight off 4. He wasn't undisputed. He wasn't undisputed.
He wasn't. No, what I'm saying is they already called him a weight bully. He beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury. He beat Sean Porter.
In all fairness, he had to go over there to get that.
You know what I mean? That's a good win. I'm still a fan. I hope he do well. But like, once it got to the point where I moved up in weight and I'm in the same weight as Spence, it's just like, oh man, you ain't fighting nobody. You this, you that, you this, you that. So now they trying to.
Terence Crawford has responded with a mocking remark after Errol Spence Jr. unexpectedly challenged him to a rematch. Crawford views Spence as an easy way to make money, as he believes the outcome will be the same, if not worse, than their first fight. Their rivalry, which many believe was over after Spence was knocked out cold 2 years ago, has reignited.
Accomplishment just to boost him up. I'm like, dude, you're not gonna do that, because I can retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame. He couldn't. Everything that I've accomplished, he's still trying to accomplish. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on him. I honestly don't know if he make it to the Hall of Fame with the accolades that he didn't got right now.
Spence is preparing to return to the ring soon, and among his various options, he has decided to face Crawford once more. However, this decision wasn't entirely his own. Spence was prompted to take action after hearing Crawford's comment on a podcast, where he stated that Spence wasn't qualified to be in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Spence, along with other boxing experts, found Crawford's remark insulting, especially considering Spence's incredible recovery from a serious car accident, his success in defeating top-tier opponents, unifying 3 welterweight titles.
Is there ever a possibility where you would rematch Errol Spence? Or is he in a position where he needs to win again before that makes sense for you?
The possibility is there.
I'm walking over my feet. You know, I want to get out the game. I got kids, got a mom and dad, and you know, they want to enjoy me. So
Spence believes that the one loss on his record shouldn't prevent him from being inducted into the Hall of Fame, nor should his defeat to Crawford overshadow his impressive career, with 28 wins and 22 knockouts. But Spence is not interested in debating the matter. He is determined to prove himself by beating the first boxer to become undisputed into weight divisions during the 4-belt era. He believes that defeating Crawford will put any arguments about his Hall of Fame status to rest. In response, Crawford has mocked Spence's challenge, calling any fight with him easy money.
Everything got to come to the end, and you know, sadly, this definitely got to come to the end. So I'm definitely gonna get out while I still can, and not either be forced out or I have to keep fighting because I need money.
Add one more belt though.
A debate is currently ongoing in the boxing community about whether Errol Spence Jr. deserves a spot in the Boxing Hall of Fame. This conversation gained traction after Crawford, a 2-weight undisputed champion, addressed the topic on the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. Crawford suggested that he could retire today and still be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but he expressed doubts about Spence's chances, pointing out that Spence is still trying to achieve things that Crawford has already accomplished.
Out of poise, broke him down, and was able to stop him at the end.
Everybody's wondering what's going on with you and Terence Crawford. This fight gonna happen?
I think it's gonna happen. We both want to fight. I want to fight. He wants to fight, and you know, it's going down to negotiations. So I definitely gonna get the fight this year, and we're gonna square off this year with the biggest fight in boxing.
It is the biggest fight in boxing. Where and when, if you were guessing?
I don't know where. I don't know when, but it's definitely gonna be this year.
All right.
Crawford then listed some of Spence's perceived shortcomings. He only fought in one division, never unified the belts, and wasn't undisputed. He also mentioned that Spence had been labeled a weight bully and noted his victory over Kell Brook, who had just come off a loss and an eye injury since the podcast aired. Crawford has faced significant backlash from fans and boxing experts. Former WBO super featherweight champion Jamel Herring has joined the conversation, expressing disagreement with Crawford's stance.
For his title, I'm fighting for a title, and there's a possibility. He win this fight, God willing. I win my fight, God willing, and there's a possibility right there.
Herring pointed out that Spence had unified all the belts in one of boxing's toughest divisions, defeating reigning champions like Kell Brook, Shawn Porter, and Yordenis Ugas. Herring emphasized that none of the belts were vacant when Spence won them. He also highlighted Spence's victories over Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, the latter of which came after Spence's life-threatening car crash. Herring argued that Spence's impact and achievements make him Hall of Fame worthy, and one loss to Crawford doesn't erase his accomplishments. Meanwhile, one of Spence's former opponents, Yordenis Ugas, has weighed in on the debate. Ugas, who fought Spence in April 2024 before Crawford ended Spence's undefeated streak, shared his thoughts on Crawford's remarks. Despite losing to Spence by TKO, Ugas doesn't hold a grudge and believes that if Spence were to retire today, he would still be a Hall of Famer. Ugas praised Spence's ability to come back from his car accident and eye surgery to win titles, and he expressed his honor in fighting Spence. Crawford's journey to the world stage had been long awaited by many, as fans eagerly anticipated a showdown with Spence for years. The two were promoted by rival companies, Crawford with Top Rank and Spence with PBC, preventing a potential fight. However, after Crawford became a free agent in 2021, discussions began about a potential bout with Spence, only to fall apart at the last moment. Crawford then dominated David Avanesian in December 2022 with a 6th-round knockout, while Spence last fought in April 2022, securing a TKO victory over Ugas.
I mean, I got a lot of skill sets I feel like advantages over him. But at the end of the day, I feel like this fight is basically so even. You know, it's going to be more about just being more focused and, you know, not getting out of focus, especially in the later rounds, just making sure, staying on point all throughout the fight and making sure you don't lose focus, because that's how...
The Hall of Fame debate around Spence gained momentum after Crawford's victory over him on July 29th, 2023 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Crawford won by a 9th-round technical knockout, becoming the first undisputed welterweight champion since 2006 and the first male boxer in the 4-belt era to claim undisputed status. In the weight divisions, the victory marked Crawford's 11th consecutive win, with 9 of those finishes coming in the later rounds.
Nothing really surprised me. He was just like I thought. It's just my timing wasn't good today.
Questions for Errol Spence Jr.?
Hey, Errol, Keith Heideck from BOXINGScene.com. What do you attribute your timing not being there to? Did you feel off physically or anything, or what was wrong in the fight?
Crawford's performance in the fight was exceptional, as he dominated from the 2nd round onward. Spence, who had never been dropped before in his career, was knocked down 3 times during the fight. Crawford finished the bout with an impressive 60% power shot accuracy and 40% jab accuracy, landing a record 87 jabs against Spence.
Your timing not being there too, did you feel off physically or anything, or what was wrong in the fight?
Yeah, I felt a little off physically, but most times I get through it. So, you know, I thought it was gonna be just like the other times, but you know, I couldn't kick it up a notch.
The fight began with Spence trying to control the pace, using movement and pressure to push Crawford. However, Crawford picked his moments to counter effectively, even dropping Spence in the 2nd round. From there, Crawford's power and precision overwhelmed Spence, and by the 5th round, Spence was consistently on the back foot. Crawford dropped him twice more before securing the TKO victory in the 9th round.
I just tell everybody, I don't go in there looking for the knockout. I go looking for the win. But if he get out of line, he's going to be the next one down.
Crawford described the win as a dream come true. Reflecting on his journey and the obstacles he had overcome, he thanked Spence for the opportunity, acknowledging that without him, this moment wouldn't have been possible. Crawford also emphasized the importance of proving the doubters wrong, especially after people had written him off and claimed he couldn't beat top welterweights.
Take my belt off then.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I'ma do it. I'ma do it.
Errol?
You don't need more than the belt. I don't know what you talking about. I ain't one of your kids.
I'ma
you
treat
need
you
more than the belt. I ain't one of your kids.
I'ma treat you like one.
Yeah, all right, we gonna see.
All right, we definitely gonna see.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the main event of the evening. Brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. 12 rounds of boxing with the undisputed welterweight championship of the world.
Crawford's jab, described by Mike Tyson as a battering ram, was a key weapon throughout the fight. It kept Spence at bay and contributed to his dominance. Crawford acknowledged Spence's abilities, but continued to praise his own skills, emphasizing his impressive jab and overall performance.
I got feel for his power. Probably like first, second round. He's a strong dude, but everybody at this top level have some type of power. But I think because my time was out, he was catching me in between shots.
I get to say I told y'all because I've been asking for these fights for years, and y'all been saying, "Oh, he's too small. He's gonna get this. He's gonna get broken."
The long-anticipated fight between Crawford and Spence was initially delayed. Due to their respective promoters, Crawford was with Top Rank, while Spence was aligned with PBC, making it difficult for the two to agree on terms. But after Crawford became a free agent in 2021, talks resumed, although they collapsed in September before an agreement could be finalized.
Line round of applause to both Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. for providing us an unbelievable night of boxing here in Las Vegas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I want to bring up, he is the
In an amusing moment on the Pound for Pound podcast, Kamaru Usman tried to recall a key moment from Crawford's career, but got the details wrong. Usman confused Crawford's fight with Jeff Horn, mistakenly thinking it took place in Australia. Crawford corrected him, pointing out that he had never fought in Australia, leading to laughter from the hosts and a lighthearted moment.
boxer to be undisputed champion in 2 divisions for the first time in the 4-belt era. There is an undisputed welterweight champion of the world. This man, 40 wins, no losses. He remains undefeated here tonight. The best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, from Omaha, Nebraska, we present to you.
The mix-up was a humorous reminder of how well-known Crawford is for his flawless record. Despite some fighters having questionable knockdowns or losses, Crawford remains undefeated. At his defense, footwork and overall skill are unmatched. This moment with Usman highlighted Crawford's ability to set the record straight while maintaining his perfect image.
He just keep getting up. He like, man, I'm not giving up. I don't care what you do. I'm gonna keep getting up and I'm gonna keep fighting. So, he did what he had to do to last the time that he lasted.
You think the ref should have stopped it?
Yes. Crawford's undefeated record and elite skills have solidified his place in boxing history. He doesn't just win fights, he dominates them. While many legends have had their moments of vulnerability, Crawford has remained untouchable, further solidifying his reputation as one of the best.
Yeah, but I think, you think he should have stopped it at that time? Because even when he stopped it, Errol was, put his hands up like, I'm still going. Do you think that was the time to stop the fight?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that his corner should have stepped in the 7th round. I feel as if, they believed in Errol, but at the same time, they should have saved the fighter from himself.
The debate over Spence's Hall of Fame status continues, but Crawford has yet to respond to the backlash over his comments. What do you think? Does Spence deserve a spot in the Hall of Fame, or is the debate premature? Stay tuned for more updates on the world of boxing by subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications.
Save the fighter from himself. Because as fighters, we gonna keep fighting until there's no fight left. But at the point where, they see that there's no possible way for him to win,